What's going on, everybody? And in the October event we have seen a couple of new products by Apple that are really good, and one of those is the new iPad Pro, which is really great. But in this video I want to talk about a couple of reasons why you shouldn't get this device. But don't get me wrong, it is a great device, it is a really powerful and really good looking iPad, but I would like to talk about a couple of reasons why buying this may not be the best idea. So let's begin with this video right now. So the first reason is that design is expensive. You may have noticed that the brand new iPad is almost without any bezels and it looks just amazing. I mean, it looks really awesome, and it doesn't even have the home button. It goes to the style of the iPhone X and the new iPhone XS without any bezels and with the Face ID and all of the things implemented into it, but it is really expensive, and Apple knows that it is the only iPad which supports or which features this brand new design, so Apple can really put a price tag on it. And of course, you're not only paying for the design but also for the sort of pro features. So if you don't really understand what I'm trying to say with this, then think about the iPhone XR. This one actually features the great looking design of the iPhone X and the iPhone XS, but it is a lot cheaper. Of course, it doesn't have the pro features, like it doesn't have the best display and the best camera, but it has the great design that many people are interested in, and it also has quite a good price. So with the iPad, this kind of thing would also be great. And the fact that Apple is putting a price tag on the design is the first reason not to get the brand new iPad Pro. The second reason is the camera, but the camera on the brand new iPad Pro is really great. It is able to capture 4K video footage at 60 frames per second, which is definitely a great feature, especially for the iPad, but the fact that the iPad is supposed to be placed on a table for most of the time, I would say, at least for me, when I'm using the iPad or I want to write some notes or whatever, most of the time I just place it flat on a table, and the camera on the brand new iPad Pro, it is protruding. It means that it's gonna stick out, and if you place it on the table, it's gonna bounce. Every time you touch the display, it's going to bounce, and it can be really annoying. Of course, if you don't want to get the expensive cases and the expensive accessories, you will have to deal with this. On the iPhones, we have a protruding camera since the iPhone 6, and it's not really a big deal on that device because most of the people don't really use it on the table, and when they do, they mostly have case on it, and case or cover is something that most people have on their phone, but on the iPad, however, not everybody has it. And that's why I think that if you would get a camera that it wouldn't be so capable, but it would be flat, then I think that it would be a better option. The third reason why you shouldn't buy the brand new iPad Pro is that iOS does not equal macOS. And let me explain. I make videos and I also have to edit them once I record them, and technically I am able to do this with my iPad and also with my Mac, but macOS is not the iOS. Just compare it, we have of course iMovie on the iPad, but the features that are present in the iMovie, it is not comparable with what we have, for example, with Final Cut on the Mac. And you may be like, of course, you also have iMovie on the Mac, and there is pretty much the very same thing. But if you would like to go to the next level, if you want to have a little bit better software for video editing, then you need to simply have the Mac OS, and you simply need to have a MacBook or Mac or whatever, but you're not able to download Premiere Pro or even the Final Cut to the iPad. It's just from my point of view, but I believe that for many people it's gonna be pretty much the similar thing. Apple will try to convince you that iPad will be able to replace your PC and your computer, but this is not always the case. The fourth reason is the Apple Pencil 2nd generation. Of course, when you compare it to the previous one, is huge. I mean, this one is a lot better. Like, you don't have to stick it to your lightning connector in order to charge it, and while it is being charged, it looks absolutely ridiculous. But right now you can just stick it to the side of the iPad and it's gonna be charged wirelessly. And of course, the Apple Pencil 2nd generation is really good in pretty much every way, but it doesn't come in the box when you buy the new iPad Pro, and it will cost you $129. And that's why I think that you should think about buying this. In case you want to use it as a laptop, in case you want to use the iPad Pro as a productive device, you probably need to buy the keyboard and the pencil in order to use it productively. And this altogether will cost you about $1,257 in case you buy the Apple Pencil, the iPad keyboard, and also the iPad with a capacity of 256 gigabytes. In case you would like to buy the brand new MacBook Air, in the same capacity, it would cost you $1,399. So it's not that of a big deal, and there you have, of course, all of the greatest features, you have everything connected, it runs completely different operating system and is, I think, a lot more capable than this one. And if you'd like to compare the RAM, on the iPad Pro the 256GB version has only 4GB of RAM, whereas the MacBook Air in the very same capacity has 8GB of RAM. So that's why I think that buying a MacBook Air, of course the latest one, which looks absolutely great, would be a better idea. And the last thing I want to mention is the new Face ID that finally made its way to the iPad. And we have seen it with the iPhone. Of course it is a great feature, but at first I was worried that it's not going to work in every single orientation, because on the iPhone if you flip it upside down you're not able to get inside. But with the iPad it works in a landscape and in a portrait mode as well, so I think it is really great. But it has also one catch, because I'm not sure if we are ready for this new technology. You always need to flip the iPad and you always need to pick it up and simply take a look at it in order to get the iPad unlocked. I don't really think that iPads are made for this, and that's why I think that Touch ID would be great. Of course we don't have the home button, but of course the ability to have the Face ID and to use it is really great, but I wouldn't really use it because I don't think that it's that convenient. But it's just my personal idea, and you may be different and maybe you will enjoy the new Face ID. So this would be everything what I wanted to say in this video. I really hope that you found this video useful and informative, and maybe you found out that those things don't really matter to you and you still want to get it. And if this is the case, then it is great. And if you realize that the iPad Pro is probably not good for you, then it is also great. So I want to say thank you very much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this one, and if you want to stay in touch, if you want to stay informed, then you should consider subscribing to this channel, because I try to post similar content like this. I want to keep you guys informed when there's a new software update, and that's why you should hit that subscribe button right now, and see you in the next video. Peace out, guys.